بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. ومن الله التوفيق ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Allah bless all of you believers. Allah bless all of you lovers and beloved murids to Maulana Shaykh Nazim Sultan al-Awliya, to beloved seed of Awliya, Grand Shaykh, beloved to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, beloved to Allah Almighty. Because you are lover to them, since you love them, you are beloved to them. And also anyone hearing, and he is hearing by acceptance, is beloved to Allah Almighty, to sealed of Prophet, to sealed of Awli Saints, to Sultan of Saints. Because anyone is hearing, listening and accepting enough for him to have a good end, to be in the highest level ranks in the divine presence of Allah Almighty. I can address you directly from the station which sealed of Awliya addressed to me directly, and Sultan of Awliya. But I use always the book of secrets to be like stick of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, with Prophet Musa alayhi salam, because I will be in familiarity, seeing them beside me, supported by their spiritualities, and seeing them just as they now talking, and I am translating from them without any interpretation or interfering of myself in between what coming and translating, transmitting to me and to all of you. For this I carry book of secrets, otherwise no need, but the need of it to give respect, sealed of Awliya, to sealed of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to Sultan of Awliya, and that I'm in need for them, always to show Allah Almighty I am in need to His supporting me, sealed of Prophet supporting me, sealed of Awliya supporting me, Sultanul Awliya supporting me, and the Khalif of Maulana Shaykh Nazim Muhammad Adil al-Rabbani supporting me. By this supportation, by this method, I can address the hearts by the tongue of the hearts, by words contain life, from the divinely life, godly life. It will be from a living one to another living one, to the one who never die, Allah Almighty. And for this, I keep this in my hand as the stick of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, but all what coming, it is only from the rank of their stations, from the unseen, coming to my heart from them, and I am translating to myself and to all of whom you are hearing this sohbah. May Allah protect all of you, bless all of you, and bless you by high ranks, and upgrading you to have always a station in your heart, like waves, the divine knowledge and realities and secrets to be coming into your house, and then dressed up to your mind, then to be coming through your tongue. May Allah Almighty bless all of you. We are so lucky that we met, and we still meeting, and never cut, to be in the divine presence of Sultanul Awliya, divine presence of sealed of Awliya, divine presence of sealed of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and divinely godly presence of Allah Almighty. This so high luck for us that we met someone whom dressed us to be upgraded and reaching that rank. Otherwise, only by our worshipping and practicing, never we will be reaching anything except what Satan reached. Proudness, curse from Allah Almighty, instead to be receiving blessing and Allah pleased from us, sealed of Prophet, sealed of Saints, and sealed and Sultan of Awliya. There are ones whom they are not saints, neither prophets. When Allah Almighty, our Lord Allah Almighty, look at their faces, His angerness will calm down. And there is them, and they are ones whom in day of judgment between the crowd, Allah will order the angels to build for them special members like a theater so high from lights, to be sitting on this throne of the theater between the crowd of people. And they are neither saints or neither prophets. And sealed of prophets, he said, they are ones whom they love each other. They love all human being, all creation of Allah Almighty, without any differentiation between one and another, but loving all, seeing everyone, respect everyone as they respect God, respect everyone as they respect sealed of Prophet and all prophets. They respect everyone like sealed of Awliya, Sultan of Awliya and all saints. They respect each of these human beings in brotherhood and sisterhood as they are respecting God, sealed of Prophet and all prophets, sealed of Awliya, Sultan of Awliya, of saints and all saints, all companion of sealed of Prophet. They see that the eyes of these people whom they are loving and respecting is the eyes of the God looking at them, the eyes of sealed of Prophet looking at them, the eyes of sealed of Awliya, Sultan of Awliya looking at them. And they see their ears whom hearing and listening to what they say, the ears of Allah Almighty, sealed of Prophet, sealed of our saints, Sultan of saints. And for this Allah Almighty loved them and they love Allah Almighty. Allah pleased from them and they are pleased from Allah Almighty. The same with sealed of Prophet and all prophets. The same with sealed of saints and Sultan of saints and all companion and Ahlul Bayt al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, holy family of sealed of Prophet and holy family for all prophets. May Allah forgive us for the one whom they are backbiting each other and they have bad thoughts on everyone, that they are inheriting only this from Satan and from their egoistic world in them. This never will be catching the rope of God and sealed of Prophet and sealed of saints and sealed of Awliya. The one who want to reach and to be upgrading by sealed of Awliya and Sultan of Awliya, by saints, he must always be so humble, giving respect to everyone, to be in good respect and in loving everyone as he loves God and sealed of Prophet and sealed of saints and Sultan of our saints and all saints and prophets and companions. Like that, the one who will be practicing and meditating himself by observing God, Allah Almighty, looking at him. Even he will get his breath, his breathing. Oh, whom you are witnessing me, whom you are present with me, whom you are watching me, I am under your lights and eyes. And will be for a long time until he needs another breathing. Then he will take another breath and he will do all, either observing God or observing them, sealed of prophets. Third breathing, he will be observing sealed of saints. Fourth breathing, he will be observing Sultan of saints. Fifth breathing, all saints and prophets and companion. And like this, by 5 breathing, Allah Almighty will support you to be upgraded and ascending in the 5 heavens over the angel Jibreel alayhi salam, to be reaching to the ocean of oneness, of wahdaniyah. If you keep this every day, every night with you in all your life, never you'll die or pass away without reaching the ocean of oneness and entering, stepping on it, swimming in it. You will be like a whale, a big whale, swimming in the furious ocean under the eyes of Allah Almighty. Lights of Allah Almighty will be. Lights of Seal of Prophet, lights of Seal of Awliya, lights of Sultan of Saints. Like this, then the practicing and worshipping will be benefiting you. When you clear your mind from all thoughts and bad thoughts, when you clear your mind from all satanic word and traps, when you clear your mind from all desires, then you will be dressed to clean your heart, to rebuild it, to be a house for God, and only God to be inside it, to settle Himself, to settle His throne, His lights in your heart. And for this you must use worshipping and practicing as equipment, tools for you in your meditation and observation to reach that level. Especially if you use the names, the godly word of names, Yaa Wadud, Yaa Wadud, Yaa Wadud, Yaa Wadud. Allah will dress you from His familiarity, to be familiar with all of them, to be familiar with everyone, with the created one, because already you are in familiarity with God, with Sealed of Prophets, Sealed of Saints, Sultan of Saints, by the name of Yaa Wadud. How much you can do? 300 times, 100 times, 10 times is okay. And keep observing that Allah Almighty, the God Allah Almighty, witnessing you, observing you, seeing you. Yaa Wadud, Yaa Wadud, Yaa Wadud. This is the name of familiarity, which the doors of familiarity and love of Allah Almighty will open for you. This is the key. This is the greatest name of the door of familiarity, of the ocean of love and familiarity to everyone, given to enter that ocean. Yaa Wadud, Yaa Wadud, Yaa Wadud, Yaa Wadud, Yaa Wadud, Yaa Wadud. And observing Allah Almighty, witnessing you, seeing you, present with you, same, Sealed of Prophet, Sealed of Saints, Sultan of Saints, all prophets, all saints, all companions, all disciples, all whom they are belong to heavenly stations. They are with you, supporting you, looking at you, and Allah Almighty, He will be reflecting His light over you. And never to allow your mind to go behind bad thoughts or any thought in that time. And as much as you can in your daily life, to make your mind not to be following the thoughts, especially the bad thoughts. Even people enemy to you, forgive them and don't meet them, don't be with them, but respect them and love them. Be always a one whom upgraded and ascended in the divinely heavenly stations of God by the guidance of Sealed of Prophet, Sealed of Saints, Sultan of Saints. Don't stop on your level. Don't stop on where you are. Even you make meditation all your life without observation and without seeing Allah Almighty, seeing you, witnessing you, present with you, without practicing Yaa Wadud, never they open the door of oceans of love and familiarity for you. You will be always like a donkey carrying book. What the donkey will be benefiting from carrying the books? He can read the books. Or someone like a donkey whom carrying in his mind to speak about high levels and high heavens and high maqams, and never stepping in them or seeing them, only like a donkey carrying this decorated kind of knowledge, and he speak as if he is a one from that world, godly world. And he is nothing except a satanic hand, a satanic tool to cheat people and to bring them down to the level of Satan and to be full with proudness, because he already is full with proudness, never did a seclusion in his life, never smashed him his humanity, never he got rid of his humanity and his ego, and still he is full with waste, and our saints changing for him every day twice his diaper. And he want to speak from high maqams? Can't be. And for this, if you don't have or supported by a station from Sealed of Awliya, Sultan of Awliya, never you will be able to be supported spiritually by them, and to be supported by Sealed of Prophet, and to be supported by godly presence and lights of Allah Almighty, whom we are always under his eyes. Never one is alone, never a two sitting, except the third of them is God. Never three sitting, except the fourth of them is God. Never a five crowding each other and sitting, and except God is the sixth. Even they are in coffee houses, nightclubs, doing badly, trapped by Satan, also God is with them. Even they are in mosque, in church, in worshipping, in zikrullah, Allah with them. God is everywhere. God is with everyone. And they say, God, that I am so near to everyone, much more nearer to him than his jugular veins. I am much more closer than his soul to his physical body. I am much closer to him than himself to himself. When Allah Almighty switch off, Grand Shaykh said, his secret, his light from you, you will be funeral. When God will go out from you, you will be funeral. Everyone is existing by God, while God is existing himself by himself. Don't say that God in me or dressing me. This is kufr. This is bad to say it, as if you are making yourself a partnership with God. And for this, if you say Jesus is existing by God, you are a believer. But to say God is Jesus, God is inside Jesus, in the limiting God in a body, then you are limiting the Creator. Creator can limit everything, but cannot be limited. Allah will limit us, will limit our mind. Our mind is limited. Our heart is limited. But Allah Almighty mind and heart, limited everything, cannot be limited. Cannot be limited in a body. Cannot be limited in anything. Even he is a thing. But he looks like not looks like anything else. And now nothing can limit him, while he can limit everything. Be careful. One saint of Awliya once was translating from Sealed of Awliya. Sealed of Awliya one night he was in seclusion, and was the last seclusion for him in Madinatul Munawwara in 1967. For 1 year he stayed without food, without water, without anything to drink, only using the malakuti power. And at that time Sultanul Awliya Mawlana Shaykh Nazim was with him in this seclusion for 6 months, and he was so surprised how Sealed of Awliya Grand Sheikh never taking anything to eat or to drink. Sometimes they offer him from behind the door to his room some tea to drink without sugar. Sometimes they find that 1 cup of tea he drank, but no more, without sugar, without anything. Then for a month, never taking anything. And he said one day, while I was, and he was he's sleeping, not like ordinary one of us how he sleep, but when he sleep, he used to go out of his body to where Allah knows, God knows, and Sealed of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. His soul and his spiritual bodies, where they goes, no one knows. And Sultan Awliya Mawlana Shaykh Nazim used to say that Sealed of Prophet dressed him to have power from Allah Almighty, from God, to split himself by another bodies according to the number of children of Adam alayhi salam, so that to be with everyone of children of Adam alayhi salam, with every human being, training him spiritually, behaving him spiritually, upgrading him spiritually, without the one to feel or to see. He had this power also. One day when he was like sleeping, and he used to rest for 2 hours only in the 24 hours, he saw that Allah Almighty, God coming in the dream, God Allah Almighty coming to him, appearing to him, and asking him, ask my servant and I will give. You say, oh Allah Almighty, I want to be pleased only from me. I'm not asking anything except anyone sitting with me, accepting me to be in the same rank of mine and same rank of Sealed of Prophet. Not to be crowded in day of judgment until he will be in the rank twins to Sealed of Prophet and twins to my rank, to my maqam. And Allah Almighty telling him, I am pleased from you, I am pleased from you, I am pleased from you. And he was dressing Allah Almighty without how, in the dream, anyone can see anything, by the cap or the fez which the Dagestani people used to dress it on their head, and full with light, his body was dressed from light, jubba from light, coat from light, and he was talking to him from everywhere, like he was talking to Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Then Allah Almighty, for some reason, he wake him up. Just he wake him up, he wake up, and saw lights going out from the room, and he was following until he was reaching the steps of the staircase of that seclusion's place in Madinatul Munawwara. Then he was, Grand Sheikh was again in his physical body, and all day at that day he was in a mood that cannot talk with anyone, cannot see anyone, because he was under the blessing and the lights of Allah Almighty, of God, and by what Allah Almighty dressed him physically and spiritually like he dressed sealed of Prophet in the Mi'raj, in the night journey, when sealed of Prophet ascend to the divine presence of Allah Almighty. And Allah Almighty telling him, I am pleased, Ana Radi, Ana Radi, Ana Radi. I am pleased from you, I am pleased from you, I am pleased from you. Because they serve children of Adam alayhi salam. From time of Adam to day of judgment, not any one saint was able to serve them like this. Like this sealed of Prophet dressing him and giving him a good tidings. Then Allah Almighty gave him a good tidings that what my sealed or beloved sealed of Prophet promised you, my beloved servant, sealed of awliya, sealed of saints, I address it to you, and it will be for you, and you can only open it for everyone from time of Adam till day of judgment, to all to be in that rank, but in time of Imam Sahibul Zaman and the descending of Sayyidina Jesus alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam. At that time you will have this, and you can open it for everyone, and everyone will be upgraded and ascend to read that maqam, to read that rank, until the lights disappeared. Then I returned back to my room, and just returning, the spirituality and reality of sealed of Prophet was waiting for me in the room. And he told me, as Allah, God promised you, I am promising the same, and dressing you to dress everyone in time of Imam Sahibul Zaman and Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam, Jesus, to be open for them all ranks, from throne to throne, from ocean of oneness to ocean of uniqueness, and to be all as the twin to my rank, to my maqam, and twins to your rank, sealed of saints, awliya. And that you will be now, starting by whom passed away from time of Adam alayhi salam till nowadays, till the appearance of Imam Sahibul Zaman and descending of Sayyidina Isa, Jesus alayhi salam. You will be the one whom Allah, God, give to your hand to to adjust them, to repair them, their physical bodies, their spiritual bodies, their heart, their mind, to be maintaining them and repairing them, dressing them, all their spiritualities by good behavior and manners and inheritance from sealed of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even their physical body remain trapped by the hand of Satan, but nothing will be then harming their spiritualities and their hearts. Only the mind will be following thoughts, but not important, because it is only thoughts. And the one who will be always connecting his heart by observation and meditation with God, with sealed of Prophet, sealed of awliya, he will be all the time mind, no thoughts to come to him. He will be cleaning his mind, controlling his ego, controlling his self, controlling his satanic word, controlling his desires and his physical word, physical body. Like this, sealed of promise him, and you will have this in time of Sahibul Zaman and Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam, to fulfill it and to complete everyone. This is the promise of God, Allah Almighty, with me and sealed of Prophet. So anyone accepting even my talks, accepting me, and accepting all the godly government represented by all prophets, sealed of Prophet, all saints, or companion Ahlul Bayt, he will be dressed by a high rank, and all whatever sins his physical body committed never will be harming his spirituality and the serving of seed of saints to him. And for this, the one who want to reach all these high ranks only has to make zikr of Allah Almighty, to give dressing salute and prayers on sealed of Prophet, and always to be connecting with them, emptying himself from all this materialistic life, and his mind from all thoughts, and his heart from anything else than God and sealed of Prophet to be in his heart. Until you reach that station, and this, the tools of it is zikrullah, salatu wa salam on Rasulullah, while you are breathing and cutting your breathing and observing Allah Almighty present with you, witness with you, and watching you. He is with you, sealed of Prophet with you, sealed of Awliya with you, Sultan Awliya with you, and all saints with you. When you will be reaching that rank, and you're well controlling yourself like this by spending at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the 24 hours for God, for Allah Almighty, for sealed of Prophet, to be with them, enough for you for the whole 24 hours, and you will be upgraded. And all the keys of this is Yaa Wadud, Yaa Wadud, Yaa Wadud. And Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. By the greatest name hidden in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim of Allah Almighty God, and by the greatest name represented by Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim for sealed of Prophet, when you are using it by observation and meditation, you will be upgraded to the highest ranks. May Allah forgive us and mercy us. إلى شرف النبي سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وآله وسلم. حضرة أستاذنا وأستاذي وأستاذنا الصديقين سيدنا محمد سوري ومشايخ العظام وآل بيت وصحابة رسول الله تعالى. الفاتحة. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. All beloved Jama'ah, salam and love to all of you, and Allah Almighty upgrade you and bless you by all these maqams and ranks. بحرمة الحي وحرمة الفاتحة.